Hi, good evening, all. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me out. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm not sure about the total strength of this class, but I will be going ahead. Just okay. So, couple of housekeeping announcement. Whenever you have any doubt, just stop me, interrupt me. Feel free. You can unmute yourself. It will be very much convenient if we just open your camera and have this two-way traffic where we interact with each other frequently. So feel free, interrupt me, ask me questions. That's absolutely all right. Now, my name is Sankalp Sharma. This is our first interaction. Uh, in terms of my background, I have done my graduation in psychology and English literature. Post that, I have done my graduation in English literature, and then I have done my MBA from IIM Lucknow. I started my career as an academician. I was in this industry from 2002 to 2009. Then I left this industry. And yes, but of course, my association was not over. And I have been working as a freelancer as and when required because teaching is my passion. So, of course, I jump in as and when required. Uh, as a full-time, if you must be wondering what's my full-time profession. I'm a qualified lawyer as well. I work with one of India's tier one law firm in the knowledge management department. So this is my credential. Now, before we go ahead, I understand that this is perhaps the first reading comprehension class. Is it?
So we've had one with Neha ma'am before.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So what we are going to do, we are going to set the pitch here. Thank you so much for the response, by the way. I'm sorry I missed the name. I think this is Muskan who responded, right?
It's Disha, sir.
Okay, Disha, I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Disha, for the reply. So in terms of understanding the objective of this session, we aim to solve one sheet wherein we have the six passages. I'm not sure we are going to also, attempt all exercises, but we'll try to reach to 4 and 5 passages, right? And at the same point of time, we need to understand what are the nuances, what are the challenges of reading, what all how we have to deal with that. I hope that all of you must have received the sheet. This is reading sheet one. Give me a thumbs up in case you have. Okay, we all of us got the sheet. Perfect, brilliant. Now, okay, few people are. We have few people in the waiting room. I'm accepting them. I'm admitting them. Okay, we got it. Perfect. Hi, those who joined us right now, just for the information, we are yet to start the session. I just finished my introduction. So this session basically is going to talk about the challenges and the nuances we encounter while doing reading. Now, the reading in these examinations is absolutely different from the reading we do in a day-to-day exercises. Now, what happened? We always believe that okay, CAT reading or any of the exam or the reading comprehension from this competitive examination is fairly different. But my point is, in my understanding, is it's the bare bone fact is similar. We need to understand, we need to soak, we need to observe, and then we need to move ahead. Now, the basic difference in reading or a layman's reading and specialized reading is that layman just reads. But when you talk about the specialized reading, you read, you chew, you soak, you digest, and after completing the reading, you're able to answer certain questions. Rather, no matter if question is asked or not, rather, you're able to recall what you all have read throughout. The important challenge which we encounter is we read and after a point of time, we're like lost. And many times we just go ahead, turn the page, we go back, we turn the pages and find out, oh, this is what we missed. So uh, please feel free unmute yourself and confirm me. Does it happen with you? You read And after like a couple of paragraphs, like lost. Oh, I just lost the track. We need to reinvent and then again dig and go back to the first, perhaps second or third paragraph and find out the tone. Does it happen with you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it used to happen with me very frequently. Now, and to be honest, nothing to worry about. This is, yeah, Disha, absolutely. It depends on what you're reading. Absolutely, this was my next point, Disha. So this is a very important characteristic. The moment you feel lost, it's a good sign that you were there and you want to have the conscious efforts to go on. You are interested in more conscious reading, right? And that's the baby step which you have taken. Now, a lot of time, as Disha rightly said, it depends what I'm reading. I'm not sure because a lot of time when I ask youngsters, do you read? People are like, yeah, we read. Of course, we read. Like, what do you read? So we read Facebook chats, we read WhatsApp chats, we read messages, we read all that stuff. I said, brilliant. God bless you.
So like if I could just add on to this, I think like I said, it depends on what I'm reading. So I read the Hindu every day, and it's such a huge newspaper, right? It's difficult to read every news article that's in there because it's so heavy. So
Absolutely.
it's like after a few pages, I am so lost. I'm not able to digest anything. By the time I reach the op-ed, I am completely lost and blank.
Absolutely. That's why I categorically mentioned it's a symbol, it's a sign that okay, you're lost, and in general or in technical language we call it a comfort zone. So trust me, Diksha, the moment when we move out of a comfort zone, we are struggling, right? Of course, the other contributing factor is fatigue. I'm
Same
tired.
here with me, sir.
Sorry, Muskan, are you saying that? Muskan?
So same here with me. I also used, yes, it's the same thing with me going on. I'm also used to read the newspaper, but after the sometimes
Yeah, we lost the
I
track, right?
lose.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens, and it's a sign of our initial development that okay, we are going in the right direction. But you know what happened, and it varies. To be honest, the moment a lot of time, especially if you talk about people, my daughter, for example, if I take the example, she's in 7th standard, and you know what she does, how she reads the newspaper. She doesn't open the first page first. She goes back and turn the last page first. I don't know if it happens with you or not. Why? Because the brain consciously says, hey, go to this post one. That's my favorite zone. That's my comfort zone. I like reading those articles a lot. I enjoy those pieces a lot. Does it happen with you? Yes, it happens. Because we have somewhere developed a comfort zone wherein we want to remain in that zone. The moment when we venture out, we feel lost, we feel tired, and our reading speed goes down. I'm not here to lecture you about reading, how to read, and all that. Of course, I'm going to talk about the nuggets, the small capsules, which may, of course, gradually boost your reading speed and inculcate good reading habit as well. But if you want me to answer that, what is the silver bullet answer, silver bullet solution? Sorry, there's no silver bullet solution or answer. Only one thing, you got to read. What to read? You have to read variety. As rightly mentioned by, if I recall correctly, Disha and I'm sorry, I lost the name of the other girl, Muskan. Rightly mentioned by them, after a point of time, we lose interaction, we get that feeling of detachment because we are tired or we are moving away of our comfort zone. So everybody, make sure that you're promising or you're deciding that you got to read things. If you're reading newspaper, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But please increase the horizon of the scope of your reading. Newspapers, unfortunately, not enough. You got to be, in order to be an ardent reader, what you have to do, you have to read variety. Start reading fiction, start reading nonfiction, start reading biographies, start reading autobiographies, start reading history books, start touching on social aspects, start exploring the political aspects, start identifying the economy related aspects and all of those pieces. Explore some journal of your interest. Now, what happened when I read newspaper? Of course, few things I get just no head and tail, because that's absolutely not my area of interest. Few people here may not like history, and some of us may like history. And the moment when we say I like history, all write up or pieces related to history are going to be fascinating for me. Does it happen? Yes, it happens. That's what we call comfort zone. Now, comfort zone, speed, and the sense of urgency are the two paramount elements of reading. What we have to do, the moment when we focus on reading speed, our comprehension goes down. If I'm bothered about reading quickly, finishing one piece in like 5 or 6 minutes, trust me, you will reach one point where you'll have to reread the paragraph to understand and answer the questions. Right? So what happened? I focused on reading speed, but I did injustice with my comprehension part. Right? Contrarily, the moment I'm extremely cautious and careful about my comprehension, I'm paying attention to each word, each line, my speed is gone. It's a mess. Perhaps you'll be finishing in 40 minutes just one piece. Sorry, it's not permitted. So what we have to find out? Here we have to find out that state of equilibrium wherein we do justice with our speed as well as our comprehension. It's a state of balance. How to achieve that? As I said, practice. Read variety of articles. Read variety of books. You never know what sort of passage you're going to get in your exam. It may be a philosophy related, and you may say, hey, listen, philosophy is not my ball game. I'm sorry, you can't have this argument. Right? It may be something which a subject which you have never touched upon. You're like, no, I don't like it. I don't know what's the head and tail. So explore, expand your horizon of reading, read variety, read versatility, and gradually you'll realize you're getting this comfort zone. Trust me, if you frequently read any blog related to international politics, trust me, any passage based on international politics would be like a cakewalk for you. Because you know how concepts are developed, how theme progresses, and how consequences and derivations are derived. Right? Anybody who is alien to international politics, like, listen, I don't know it. I haven't read it. Excuse me, I'm going to skip this one. Yes, it's going to happen. So the lesson number 1 from today's class is read, practice. It's a brilliant thing if you're reading newspaper. I'm sorry. It's brilliant if you're reading newspaper, but explore it. Take one small book, not that big book. If you're not a frequent reader, finish it. Small meals, piece meals, finish it. Trust me, after finishing 10 pages, 15 pages in one sitting, if you're not a frequent reader or ardent reader, you'll feel the sense of accomplishment. You'll pat your back and say, hey, listen, good job done. Trust me, it happens. The moment it happens, you'll be able to find out, oh, I read it. Now the next step is what I read. So here comes the regression. You may have to go back, skim the pages and identify what you read. That's absolutely right. There is no sin in the initial stage. You can do that. You can take that risk, but gradually you will develop this habit, or you have to develop this habit consciously. Mind my words, document it if you want to. You have to do this, otherwise there's no scope. Whenever you read one paragraph, whenever you read one line, initially, consciously, deliberately, you have to start identifying the association between the first line and the next line, and the next line and the next line, and the next line and the afterwards, and the next line and the next line. The moment you're able to connect the lines, you got the crisps and the bingo sense of that paragraph. The moment that paragraph is clear, you jump to the next paragraph, you read it, you do the same exercise. Oh, now you understand. This paragraph is contrary to the second paragraph, or the first paragraph is setting the pitch for my second paragraph, or my second paragraph is actually adding the scope of my first paragraph. That's the sign of a mature reader. Trust me, everybody reads. We all somewhere read, but this conscious effort is required. And in your examination in CAT, what you have to read in a passage, in a paragraph, what? Maximum 5 or 6 paragraphs? So what I'm asking for, my demand is what? Make that connection. Make that connection among those 5 or 6 paragraphs. Those who are able to establish that connection rule, they bingo, they bullseye answer the questions. Otherwise, it's always going back to the first paragraph, going back to the question, reading the question, going back to the second paragraph. You kill the time. So I hope you understand the comfort zone and how to get out of the comfort zone, right? So we discussed 2 important elements today so far. The first element is, can somebody summarize it for me? The first conscious effort, what we have to do?
Reading.
Read, of course. And read what? Read variety. Add versatility, right? As I said, read history, read sociology, read science journals, read all sort of things which you get. Don't restrict yourself. This is very important. Don't restrict yourself. Develop that comfort zone with all aspects. What is the second thing which we discussed? Second element. Can somebody summarize it for me, the second one? Hey guys, you're not able to
start relating,
So
the second sentence to the first sentence and
associating the sentences.
yeah.
Yes.
The paragraph.
Start connecting the sentences. The moment when you start consciously, listen, it is not going to happen. We'll just do this right now. It's never going to happen. You'll be jumping from paragraph to paragraph. Like, oh, listen, Sankalp told us we have to set the connection, right? So it's not going to happen naturally. You have to make, or we have to make the deliberate effort to let this happen. Okay. So give me a thumbs up if you can do that deliberately. We can make the connections. Can we? Yes. Thank you so much. Now, I understand that we all have the sheet with us. Can we quickly go to the first paragraph? First, I'm sorry, my bad. First passage. What you have to do, I'm not giving you any time-bound restriction right now. Trust me, I'm not giving it to you. What you have to do on your mobile phone or somewhere, just set the timer when you start reading. The moment when you finish reading the passage, close that timer. Do I make sense? Okay, perfect. Let's start. I'm not giving you 5 minutes, 10 minutes. No, take your time. Try to do justice. It doesn't mean that you take whole class. No, maximum 10 minutes are fine, right? Carry on, please. Let's do the first exercise.
So should we start from the passage 1?
Absolutely. Go ahead with the passage 1. I'm sorry, and which is the Elvin Witt story.
So actually, have you done this passage with Neha ma'am?
Yes,
This
sir.
sheet, have you done this?
Not
The
the
sheet
entire
से
sheet.
हमने 2 की है, passage 1 and passage 3.
So that means technically you've done the sheet, right?
Ma'am said that she would start with the poem, actually, like the comprehensions of poems.
Poem, right?
Yes, in that particular sheet only.
But I don't find any poem in the sheet. Do you have it?
So we've done only 2 passages in the sheet, the first passage and the third passage.
Okay. Let me go ahead. Okay. And rest of the passages you haven't done, right? Guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Was it like an homework or something?
Sir, mine was this is first class.
Hey guys, I think there's little confusion here. Everybody, please turn on the camera if you can, please, and explain me. Should we go ahead with passage one? Yes, if you have not done it. No, we would not go ahead if you have not done it. I'm happy to go the way you want. I just need to understand your comfort.
I feel like most
Sir,
of
I
us
have
haven't
not
done
done
it.
it.
It must be
I
some
have
of the
not done
starting
it.
classes.
Muskan, you're saying something? I'm sorry, somebody was saying something. Most of us have done this, right?
No, it must be one of the starting classes because I've also not done this.
Okay, can we say yes in the chat box so I can count the number of yes and number of no? Yes for the passage one, please.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Yes, for the people who have done it or haven't done it.
No, if you want to begin with passage one, type yes. If you don't, say no. My God, I have a lot of like okay, all yeses. Okay. Oh. We got just couple of no's. We got most of the yes. I don't know how to do that. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's skip this passage. Let's jump to the second one. We'll come back to this, but let's not kill the mood. Let's go to the second passage first. Guys, there with me? So, second passage, guys. Shall we go with the second passage?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
second passage is very interesting piece. Honestly, very interesting piece. What you have to do again, just calculate your time so that we can find out a speed for that matter. And I think no, let's not do that because we haven't done this for the first one, so I would not be able to do the analysis here. So though I wanted to do the analysis, but leave it. Don't measure the time. Let's carry on with the second passage. You have 10 minutes to finish this. Give me a thumbs up when we're done. Okay, we got Anushka. Thank you, Anushka. Thanks, Aditya. Three more minutes to do this. Okay, perfect. Most of us done. Are you done with the answer questions as well? Are we done with the questions as well? Or only the reading part? Anushka, Manisha.
Need the reading.
Okay, okay. Let's move on to the question. Okay, we will go to the questions together. Don't worry, we'll do that. But for that, while solving the questions, you got to unmute yourself so that we can interact. Okay, now, all of us, how are you feeling after reading this? My question number one. Is it very difficult in terms of language? Guys, please unmute. Listen, we may not have RC class without interaction. So please talk, unmute yourself, put camera on if you can, please. My request is yes, try to do that.
So for me, it is. For me, it is.
The words are difficult.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay. Second thing, you may not have the head and tail of this context, right?
Yes. No, I didn't tell.
We lack the context, right? You're not aware of the context, right? We don't know it, honestly.
Sir, it's like you don't, story just starts somewhere, you are not able to connect the threads. So, to understand the whole
That's the
story.
single statement I was looking for. We were not able to connect the threads. We do not know what is this preliterate, what is this character, what is this green egg, what is this hem, who is this person with entrepreneurial spirit, what is happening all over the place, right, guys?
But it does tell us what that book is about. And
Yeah.
it also gives us two different viewpoints. And then it tells us what it
Amrita,
needs
thank
to
you
have
so much
in
for
a
raising it. Yes,
yeah,
because it
in
gives
a
you
good
broad
book.
idea. Even though
Yeah.
if you're not aware of the background, you can connect the lines and
Yeah.
add the dots and reach on to the conclusion. Okay, it talks about book,
But
it talks about the two views about it, whether it's nice, whether it's not, what the book should have. Should it have the dark element? Should it not have the dark element? Should it have the picture? Should it not have the
And
pictures?
how to retain
Describe
attention,
for the pre-literate students or the nursery kids, basically. Should
target
it be
audience.
so?
Yes.
You know,
But it has some references that like not every one of us can understand because, for example, Dr. Seuss. We don't
Yes.
know what Dr. Seuss
Dr.
is because
Seuss,
we're
yeah.
not American culture.
absolutely. And it's not American culture per se. It's there. So what we have in nursery rhymes, we have this twinkle twinkle little star, right? And in America, this is like that nursery rhyme.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
show
yeah.
you
I
something.
kind of
Just
figured
one
that. You kind of have to guess that along the way. Ki, हाँ, that is what it must have been a children's book.
Absolutely. Yeah. No denial. You got to get. That's the reason. If you remember my point before I started this passage, I categorically said that you got to add or connect the dots, right? And I'm sure you will not be able to deny this. After finishing some paragraph or some lines, you got to just go back and refer to the one what you have read. Tell me honestly.
Definitely. Didn't happen from the start, but maybe
Yeah.
a few lines back.
Thank you so
Because
much.
you
It did
just
not happen at the start
lose train
because
of thought.
we were conscious. My statement was fresh, so we were just going with the flow with the conscious measures. But the moment when we start enjoying it, we just slip. Thank you so much. This is what we have to develop as a conscious reader. This habit should be there. Keep on connecting the dots. Trust me, guys. It is going to screw your reading speed. Trust me. But only initially. Once you have this by default system installed in your reading habits, you will save a lot of time. You will boost on your comprehension and you'll increase your accuracy as well. Okay, I want to show you something. I'm not sure this is the first time I'm showing by using sharing screen. I don't know if if it permits me to do that. It does not permit me to show my. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, it permits me. Can you see my screen, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just enjoy this.
We can't hear you, can we?
Can't hear you?
No, I don't think audio is transmissible.
Oh my God.
Yes, sir. Audio nahi hai.
Guys, is there anybody who can help me out? Is there any way I can show this to all? No? Okay.
Sorry.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just 1 second. Sorry, just 1 second.
So you can share the link in the chat box. We can.
Yeah, I was just thinking. In fact, I don't know how to in fact do the chatting as well on this. Hey, listen, I'm from Iron Age. Bear with me. To everyone in meeting. Okay, I got it. I think this is the right. Hopefully, this is the right link. Hey, just take 5 minutes out, watch this video, then we're going to discuss the answers. Please do that, everybody. But mute yourself. Give me thumbs up when you're done. Are we done? Okay. Okay, we got the first thumbs up. I think we are there, all most of us. Guys, just one more minute. We got to finish it fast. Perfect. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir.
Thank you so much. Now I have a question to you. How are you feeling?
Yeah, sir. But good. Like it's reliving childhood memories. Right?
Not only that, it actually helps you to connect what you have just read 5 minutes back.
Yes, sir.
Trust me, each word of this passage, the salesmanship, green eggs and ham, the entrepreneur skills, the pre-literate reference, right? The gloominess, the grumpiness, the statement, how do you know if you haven't tried it once? Right? The statement in the passage. Now you can well connect it. The reason of investing 10 minutes in this video, less than 10 minutes for that matter, is to give you one important lesson. Make sure you're not discriminating in the text. Even if the days when you have nothing to read, if you got a kindergarten book, Baba, read it. It's going to tell you how those easy topics are entertained. It actually, more than your reading skills, it actually boosts or tells you how to articulate the simple thing in a more mature or sincere fashion. Right? It's going to help you. That's the whole idea. We are doing this. Now, when we started this whole passage, I said regression, avoid regression. And I understand that a lot of words we get, and somebody very honestly accepted, yes, there are a lot of words which are difficult, and I agree. A few words which are fairly difficult. Now, how to get rid of this challenge, the difficult vocabulary and all? Listen, the more you read, better you understand. So, the time when you read versatility, you'll be encountering different words. You'll be encountering the treatment given to the different words, and you'll understand how each word can carry a particular contextual meaning. Right? That is important. That's the reason, guys, whenever you get stuck with a word, please follow this instruction. As I said, read the previous statement, read the next statement, try to connect the dots. It will give you the sense of what the word broadly talks about. You'll understand if it's an adjective, it's a verb, what kind of verb, is it carrying any other association with the text. So that actually makes that actually makes you comfortable with the text, with the black and white for that matter. Now, what we are going to do, we are not going to refer back to the passage, but we have to answer the questions. Okay? Promise me that you would not refer to the book. The whole exercise is memory based now. Should I read the first question for you? I mean, the fifth question for you? Okay. Why does the author consider Green Eggs and Ham to be a book that is a great building block for children? I repeat, do not go back to the passage. It's a memory-based exercise now. First option, it teaches patriotic values to American children. Guys, anybody who is watching for the option number 1?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
How do you believe it's a patriotic value? Salesmanship is not patriotic. Entrepreneur skills, things are not patriotic. Right?
There was just one time where the passage talked about American traits, but not patriotic nature.
Yes, American trade, understand. After Second World War, what happened? America basically was the growth engine of the world, basically. Right? America, Japan, Germany, these were the economies which were flourishing. And a lot of migrators moved to this country, this continent, they started doing business and all. So the whole American spirit is what? That's salesmanship. Right? So it got nothing to do with the patriotism, but that particular skill. Second option, it's ruled out. First one is ruled out. It has an enduring appeal, an enduring universal appeal that is relevant even when a child becomes adult. It has the appeal, but it got nothing to do with that, the adulthood, basically, right? We are not supposed to inference that deep. It engages even pre-literate children and therefore has an enduring effect on them.
This
Guys?
can be a possibility.
This is the possibility, because Barbar, it repeatedly says that it engages the children, it engages, the theme engages them. How even it says that book should be written in simple language, it should have some pictures, but those pictures are not the guarantee against the boredom. You remember, do you recall? It's somewhere mentioned, right? So it's about how to make text more engaging for children. Children, pre-literate. Third is the answer, but we still go with the fourth and fifth to understand. It is written in a style that is easy to follow and teaches them basic educational skills. Unfortunately, the writing pattern of this book is not explored here. Rather, temperament of this book is explored. What book carries, basically, but not the writing things. How it's written. It never says it with the long sentences. It never says that it is full of conjunctions. It never talks about those complexities per se. It provokes a desire to written books. Anybody who marked this question is great leader, right? Is a visionary. It cannot be, not even the far-fetched imagination. We are not supposed to be that visionary, right? Question number 6. So answer to the fifth one is option 3. Let me know if you have any doubts. Question number 6. What is the author's tone while talking about how good children literature should not be a snooze? Analytical? Okay, let's understand this way. How would you determine if a tone of a text is analytical or not? Guys?
Too much data driven.
Thank you, Aditya. Yes. One of the characteristic is it's too much data driven. Number 2, it's contrasting. It gives one piece of information and contrast it. And other supplement it or contradict it, right? It, in order to compare, it builds the other one as well, other comparison as well, other body as well. So in order to compare this book, there could be the reference of the other book as well and bring that analysis, whether which book is better, all sort of things. So that's analytical thing. Scientific, of course, it's not. We all know what is scientific, right? What is cautious? Cautious is when the author is extremely careful while inferencing any judgment or any outcome. A lot of time we may have the overusage of may, might, could, where author is actually not driving any particular outcome, but just giving the peripheral references. So the time when I say refer to the passages, connect the dots, the moment when you connect the dots, you find out, hey, listen, it's just not giving any pinpoint answer, but it's just moving to the peripheral thing. It's not giving me the pinpoint things. Somebody just mentioned Hindu newspaper editorial. It's a very good thing. You know, when you read editorial, a lot of time authors are cautious. They do not drive the conclusion out, and they leave the discussion open-ended, right? Like it could be x-axis and it could be y-axis as well. So you understand, it's an open-ended conversation. Author is cautious. It's not driving any conclusion. What is the meaning of the word jocular?
Humorous, comic.
Mirth, M-I-R-T-H, mirth, fun, sarcastic, jocular, right? That's what. And I think that's the right thing. When author says, what's the tone while talking about how children's literature should not be snooze? And this is like a jocular tone, right? It says that aisa bhi mat likho, don't write in this way that kids just go and sleep, right? So this is what? Jocular. What is philosophy? And I assure you, very soon, perhaps in the second sheet, we will have one passage which is core philosophical. So you have to start understanding the theme of the passage is. Anything which is philosophical is what is deep-rooted, carries a deep-rooted thinking involved. Of course, a lot of heavy words are used. Of course, some themes are abstractly chosen. You don't know the time you're talking about colors, and from colors, the philosophy's life is taken out and author has taken it to the next tangent. So the essential element to determine if my text is philosophical or not, it's very broad, very open-ended. We got a lot of things, weird things connected to one another, connected with each other with a very thin thread. And that thin thread is what philosophy, right? For example, somebody might say, I'm wearing red today. Why am I wearing red today? Now the philosophers would be, I like red color. The one view could be, I like bloody red. One view could be, I like scarlet red, right? So people may start driving from one point to other point and developing the whole sort of conversation, taking it in a different direction. Somebody might say, I'm a person who loves violence, right? So we may have the loose association. Sorry, we may have the broad association which are connected with the thin thread. Now, question number 7. So I hope you understand how do we determine if a text is philosophical, if a text is analytical, or if a text is cautious for that matter. Now, the next question is, it can be inferred that the author believes that good pictures in the children's book. Guys, any options? Okay, I'll just take this. Aid the process of understanding and imbuing the meaning. Yes, but half truth, not complete. Exaggerates the humor and fun element. Sorry, not necessarily. Serves to excite the pre-literate child only. I have a big problem with the word only here.
It's too extreme.
Yes. And you got to be very careful when you have to odd one out. So go for these particular words basically. It is good, but not an insurance against a boring book.
This one maybe.
Yes, it says.
It says great art is good, but something like that it said.
Yeah, it says
in
this.
the
I cannot.
passage.
I promise that I won't be going back to the passage, but it says that it should not be a snooze, right? It should not be. It should not bring the boredom here. So yes, but so it says that it's not a guarantee against a classic text, something of that nature. It says somewhere, right? So yes, that's the option. 5th one is motivates a child to find out more about content of the book. No, it's not. It doesn't talk about. It doesn't talk about the technique to motivate a child to explore book further or to read further, for that matter, right? Now, question number 8. What does the author think about the inclusion of the dark element in children's book? It is necessary and should be avoided. I'm sorry, it says it is unnecessary and should be avoided.
No. It says it can be there as long as
Yes.
it ends with a good tone.
Yes, thank you so much for recalling this statement. It says that it should be there, but everything should be resolved at the end. So it should be like a happy ending kind of thing. Like the person finally got to taste the green eggs and ham. Right? Okay. Now it is good. So basically we'll jump onto the answer directly. It engages them, but it should be resolved by the end. It's an underlined statement, right? It can be inferred the reason Sam I am gets a sympathy in the book is because, guys, you should not in fact look at the text now. You've just got the video and you got the why you like the person with a big hat. What are the traits? Guys, what are the traits?
The first option.
Yes. Have you seen this? He was so persistent. If you don't like it, have you tried it? If you haven't tried it, how do you know you don't like it? So in order to don't like it, you got to taste it first. And if in order to taste it, you got to buy it first. So come, try it, right? So it's what he's so persistent with this. And his persistent is one thing. What is the meaning of the faith here, guys? You got to explain it to me, please.
that he believes that if the other guy tries, he will like it.
Yes, kind of in his product.
Yes, but it's a very peripheral one. But yes, I want a bingo bullseye answer. Manisha, you're saying something?
Yeah, like his faith in his product. The one,
Absolutely. You're going to study management. So his faith in his product.
yeah, the salesmanship he's selling.
Yes. Thank you so much. The whole drama is about salesmanship. He's persistent. He knows that once he tries, he's going to buy it. He's going to use it. So yes, here faith comes. And I know a lot of time we just remove this option with the word faith. Faith got no association. But yes, faith has the association here. Right? Okay, perfect. Now, I'll quickly jump on to the next topic, which basically stop or somewhere bring hindrance in a reading. And that's people believe it's irritating, but I believe it's fine. It anchors if you are the initial or if you're a beginner level. So the terms are vocalization and sub-vocalization. So vocalization is what? It's a habit where unconsciously whatever we are reading, we start pronouncing that, right? If you're doing that, trust me, it's not a sin. You're fine. It's absolutely fine. In fact, I do a lot. When I find some tricky text, I just get indulged in vocalization and sub-vocalization. But the biggest hindrance is what? It causes, it actually stops you, or it works as a stumbling block in your reading speed. So your speed goes down. So whenever you are reading, if unconsciously you're doing vocalization or sub-vocalization, I'm absolutely fine. But try to eliminate this habit. It's not overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some time. As I gave the few tips in the beginning of the class, you got to read, you got to connect the dots, you got to connect the dots between, as we have done in the second passage. The same thing, you have to do that. Consciously try to stop vocalization. However, if text is very difficult, is not engaging, and you want to connect with that concentration level, make sure you're sub-vocalizing it. I'm fine with that. But as I said, at the beginner's level, the moment when you take like a bigger chunk of reading, I'm sorry. The moment you take a bigger chunk of reading, eliminate it. Let it go. Okay. You must know, if you see any kindergarten kid reading, what he does, he reads aloud. And in fact, teachers tell, right? Teachers also tell the person, okay, kid, read it loud. Why? Because while reading, he'll just go somewhere else, right? So in order to hook up your concentration, you got to just read it. Same thing you have to do. So that's fine. But again, the caution is remove it gradually. Okay, it kills the time. I got a very I got a lot of feedback because I very frequently talk to the aspirants, CAT aspirants, and they're like, sir, we know, but it just happened. We're not able to get rid of it. Honestly, if you're not able to get rid of it, it's fine. As far as it's not stopping your speed and it's boosting your comprehension, I'm fine. I'm going to again say this, though this is against what is written in your sheet, right? But gradually try to eliminate it. But if you're not, leave it. Try to read more and more things as well. So it will be removing or eliminating soon. Now, I'm not sure, guys. You got to guide me. Should be 2/3 passage is done as I was told. 4 people have done it. I got 4 no's last time. So I think we should do the 3rd passage, right? Should be. I think let's do that. Mritika, you're saying something?
No, I just looked at it and it looks very boring.
Yes, that's the reason I want you to do that. Trust me, that's the so the whole reason I'm saying this while reading this this particular piece, make sure, promise me that you are not going back. Right? When I say not going back after reading the first passage, first paragraph, you're not going back again and like connecting it. No. Sentence by sentence connect it and you'll get the bingo answers. Trust me. I can only give you 10 minutes to finish this reading. Please carry on. Yes. Yes, Manisha. Third one, anthropology one. Hey guys, before I go ahead, I just want to ask you, do you understand the meaning of anthropology? I'm sorry I'm taking time, but I just need to ask you. No, I think everybody's engaged now. Okay, carry on with the reading. We'll discuss this. Okay. I got some thumbs up. Guys, last 1 minute. Try to finish it soon, or perhaps 90 seconds. Guys, last 60 seconds. Don't answer the questions, just finish your reading. Okay. Everybody. So call the names. I'm sorry. You will have to. Hello. I'm just my camera is blurred. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
sir.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask some names and some basic questions about this passage. Before I go ahead and do that, have you noticed that this passage is, if I talk about the connected lines, it's very well connected, right? But somewhere it just fluctuated here and there. For example, while coming from freezing to the box, it just ventured somewhere that what happened if today's, if we are mummified in 5,000 some years back, like, I don't know how that came. And while discussing box, it just says how nature plays a supernatural role. Guys, I just want, but the reason I'm discussing these things, that you should be extremely careful about these deviations in the passage. Not only this, all passages. Because when an examiner wants to make a tricky question, he would not go to the straight line, but he will go to the deviations and pick up the question from here, right? And we're like lost because we did not pay attention to the deviations, so we're like lost. So, Utkarsh, can you tell me about the flow of this passage? Very quickly, in like 10 seconds.
Sir, flow of the passage in like what?
I'm saying how the passage evolved and what. So, okay, give me 60 seconds or 10 seconds. Quickly talk about the passage. What the passage is all about in a couple of lines.
Sir, it talks about the anthropologist, how nature plays the role in preserving mummies.
Thank you so much. Vijay Lakshmi Vashisht, can I request you to please unmute yourself, and if you
Yes,
can
sir.
put the camera on, Vijay Lakshmi.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Vijay Lakshmi. I can't see you. Okay. No problem. My question to you, Vijay Lakshmi, there are two ways of doing the mummification. What are the two ways in this blog, in this passage?
So it is mentioned that one is through the bacteria.
Bacteria doesn't mummify.
The other method is where the fleshy parts of the body are preserved due to nature and the preparation of other humans.
That is one way.
That you're not giving me the bingo answer. You're giving me the peripheral answer. No problem. Mihir, Mihidhar, may I request you to unmute yourself, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mihir, can you help me out with the two things? Broad association, don't give me the pinpoint answer. As rightly said by Miss Vijayalakshmi Vashish, right? Yeah. Vijayalakshmi, right? We are talking about those things. Ha, Mihir.
So do I have to tell like how the mummies are preserved?
No, the methods basically. One word.
Sir, one word is mummification, and the other word is like freezing.
Freezing is a process of mummifying things. But well tried. Good.
So, sir, I'd say only mummification because then
Mummification.
freezing would fall into
Okay.
that category.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. We have I'm sorry, we have Koshani Chatterjee. If you can hear me out, please. Koshani.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Hi, Koshani.
Hi.
Koshani, well, how the box basically help it? My question is, does bog help in mummification?
So, sir, here what in the passage they are saying that in the box, it's not actually known how it's done, but like it's basically nature playing its role into it. And
Baba, it says how it's done. It says oxygen nahi aata, then something happens. If there's no oxygen, what happened, right? But okay, well tried. No problem. Okay, I'll just quickly go to the questions here. Sorry. Okay, in the passage, creepy feel to work in means. It says that. Don't turn the pages. Just talk about it. Option number 1. Feel permeating enthusiasm.
No, sir.
No. Difficult to work. Disturbing environment. Slow to work in that
Maybe.
environment. Morbid
No.
feels.
Some morbid feels.
Creepy. What is the meaning of creepy?
More in a negative
disturbing
term.
environment.
Yes, creepy means disturbing for that matter, Baba. If you go to the literal meaning of creepy, it's disturbing. Something is creepy is like something is disturbing, isn't it? Right. So the answer is very simple. You're not supposed to explore. It's just there in the question. Answer is it's a disturbing environment, and the author says also, I'm not very comfortable in working in the mummy kind of environment. Though in movies it's fine. I think somewhere it's written. What factors help preserve the mummy? Mritika, if you can answer, please. Sorry, not Mritika. Vijayalakshmi, if you can answer this. I'm sorry, Mritika.
So
Sorry.
freezing.
Freezing. What factors help preserve the mummy? Freezing, but not moisture.
Just a second, sir.
Yeah, of course not moisture, Baba. I'm confusing you. You're right.
Yes, sir, not moisture. So we want to prevent it from moisture. So that is why we'll be freezing it.
Thank you. 12th one. Which of the following statement is true? Guys, it's very interesting one. The author emphasizes with the people thrown in the bog. The author prognosticates the mummies would evoke a new thing for the future generation. Read it carefully. Prognosticates the mummies would evoke, right? The mummies force the author to introspect about a myriad thing, right? The author loathes the concept of mummies. He doesn't hate it, honestly speaking, right? He dislikes it, but doesn't hate it. The author likes working with mummies. What is the answer? What should be the answer? If you have to zero it down, I'll remove 4. Sorry, please carry on.
Concept of mummies, sir. Loth is the concept of mummies, I think.
Yeah. He's not looking the concept of mummies. He's in fact finding it fascinating. He's like, what if we are mummified and 5,000 years after somebody explores us or discovers us? So for that matter, he's just not against the concept of mummies, right? That's true.
He's ending the para with something like the prognosticates the mummies would evoke new thinking for the future generation.
Mummies,
But he also goes for introspecting.
yeah, mummies. No, no.
in the
So it says
middle.
mummies would evoke new things for the future generation. No, mummies have evoked the new things for us. When we become mummified, that's the reason I was saying, read this statement carefully. Then we would actually explore it, teach the new things to the future generation, like electricity and all those things, right? He talked about it, right? So it's not. The word mummy is a problem here.
So the tense is wrong, is it?
Yes. Yes.
So which means perspective is wrong.
Yes. 12th is not. 12th, 2 is not. That's the reason I was saying, read it carefully, right? First one says author emphasized with the people through, no, not per se, not, right? The answer is third one. Mummies forced the author to introspect about the myriad things. Of course, he's introspecting about myriad things. A lot of things he's introspecting, right? What if this happens? What if it's nature does it? What if it's a mysterious way of nature of doing things? Now,
I have a question here.
Please,
So,
I'm sorry, I'm not able to see the picture. Sorry, who is this?
Mritika.
Hi, Mritika. Carry on, please.
Yeah. So, you talked about the tone of the passage. Okay.
Yes.
This starts with scientific, if I'm not wrong, but it goes into philosophical when he starts introspecting stuff.
Okay. If you if I rephrase the question, what is the right tone of this passage? You want me to explain?
Yes, please.
Okay. So the tone of this passage is basically subjective here. It's broad and it's descriptive. Let me explain you how. It talks about anthropology. Now, talking about anthropology doesn't mean it's talking about science. Why the author talked about anthropology? Because he wants to say that the study of skin, hair, everything, skeleton, gives us the idea of people or human being lived in different era. Right? Now, how we understand about these people, because these people have gone long back, only if they're mummified. Now, how they are mummified? Through freezing things or through box where there's no oxygen, right? So understand how this is evolving. It's actually descriptive. It's not philosophical. I'll correct you, Mritika, here. It's not philosophical, but to answer a question, the last paragraph is mysterious in tone. Should I read it from the text to justify my statement? I just read it. It says,
Okay.
Just give me a second. It says, what if nature acted as a silent influencer on that particular culture, persuading the group to place these people in box ?
Okay, so it just left the theory out there.
Yes, that's the reason I'm saying. And it's not stopped here. There may be some type of supernatural force in which nature purposely preserves the body. So those scientists of today have something to study. Are you with me now? So
yes.
Imagine how it's describing a concept and ending or concluding in a more open-ended way, slightly mysterious way.
It sounds like
I don't
conspiracy theories.
Sorry?
Sounds like conspiracy theories.
Absolutely. I hope I answered the question. Mritika?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Thank you. Thank you. We quickly jump onto the question number 13. What aspect does the author analyze from the mummies? The influence of a nature in a particular society? Yes. Right? It says that. Second, is it possible for future people to know about the contemporary people? Now, the guys understand the word contemporary here. Unlike that second option in the previous question, right? Very, very carefully the word contemporary is used. Of course, it's true. Does nature enforce certain activities? Is it true or not?
It is true, sir.
It is true. It is true. Yes,
Very
it is true.
generic.
Sorry?
It's very generic, no? Does nature enforce certain activities?
Yeah, but it is going well because when nature, I'm sorry, in nature, what happens in bog, it's actually created by nature, and author in fact category says it. That the action of nature does the act in bog, right? So certain actions done by certain activities done by nature. So answer is first one. What is osteo? Osteocalcium.
Study of bones, no?
Bones.
Yes, sir, it is related to bones.
So much. 15th. What can be inferred from the author's use of the phrase nature's twisted way?
What was the answer for osteology?
I'm sorry. Did I miss something?
What was the answer for osteology?
Osteo is what? Bones.
Structure of bones.
Yes. What can be inferred from the author's use of the mysterious use of the phrase nature's twisted way? Hey guys, I just explained it. This last paragraph and I gave the answer as well, more or less. What it could be?
Their option 1.
Mysterious. Option 1.
It's not perplexing. It's not perplexing. There's no way author has given any sense of confusion. Author is very clear. No element of confusion, but mystery. Yes, right? Okay. So lesson from this passage. Remember, there are certain passages, you find them well connected, but somewhere it just deviates from topic. So make sure, mind those deviation, mind those association, mind certain analogies driven in the passage, and take those forward. It's a very important learning. A lot of time you may be very comfortable with the tone of the passage. It's very simple. It's about mummies, but we may have a question which is not about mummies, but something else as well. Okay, and something else is what? Which is a deviation connecting between two things. So from moving from freezing point to box, what author moved that. What if we are mummified? People will find out about electricity and all that fancy things he talked about, right? So yeah, be careful about it. Now the next thing which I want to talk about, of course, most of the time we are doing the virtual reading, so it may not be very relevant for you now, but still, if you can, if you're reading by a tab or something, which I very often do because it helps me to scroll down things. Now, if you're reading in a physical way, if you're using your hands, it's fine. It may help you to understand or to hook your attention appropriately. May not be very relevant when you're reading something online, especially on a computer where you have to use your mouse. So my point is, when you're reading something in a newspaper, when you find the text in columns, each column carrying like 5 or 6 words, don't worry about putting hands and all. Develop your eye span so that your eye can read that particular portion. It should be increased gradually, right? That's the reason those columns are scientifically designed, the newspaper columns, the breadth of the columns, right? So make sure you're consciously avoiding it. But if you're just deviating somewhere, you're getting lost, use hands. But I don't find it very feasible while reading online. Other than this thing, guys, I just want to take your permission. Can I extend this class for another 12 minutes if you can, please? Can we extend this class? If you have any prior commitments, feel free.
Yes.
That's good.
Okay, I'll just quickly extend. Wait, let's figure out. I just have to talk about a few more things before I jump onto one more thing, which is anticipation, basically. Guys, very quickly, take this lesson. What you're going to do today, you're going to go online and subscribe some blogs, right? It could be a travel blog. It could be like an international blog, politics related. It could be a finance related blog. It could be a stock market thing. It could be a cookery blog for that matter, right? It could be an automobile blog. Subscribe to all sort of things. And make sure you are giving it one reading at least a week, like one reading of all these blogs. So imagine if you subscribe, I am sure I have mentioned close to 6 or 7 different natures. If you subscribe to all these blogs, go to the different people you find out. What is going to happen gradually? You will develop that taste and you would not struggle when you find out something which is out of your zone. Okay, so in that ways, you will be expanding your zone. You'll be enhancing your comfort zone. You'll flavor the different perceptions, and you'll enjoy those reading flavors. So it's a very important takeaway. Now, I will not be stopping here. Next time when we meet, of course, in this class, I want all of you to turn your camera on and give me the piece of information you have subscribed this week and you have read. Guys, are you with me? I hope network is working flawlessly right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Yes. We have to do this and do this exercise for like just 1 month. You'll see drastic improvement in your confidence level. No matter what you get, you'll be able to read it. You'll be able to do justice with that because you have developed you have enhanced your comfort zone. So give it a shot. Now, the other point is anticipation is in reading. Now, guys, I was talking about this. Okay, you have to be careful when you read. A lot of time, what happened, we develop the comfort zone, like, okay, after this is going to happen. We start anticipating, like a movie. When we watch movie, we say, like, this is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. Movies, videos, and yes, with time, text or books become predictable. You start predicting them. It doesn't mean that you're rewriting the climax scene of the book. No. When I say predicting, you're flowing with the sense. You're anticipating the development, not factually, but thematically. I repeat, not factually, but thematically. Now, what do you mean by thematically? Now, thematic anticipation is what? You're reading one word, one statement, and suddenly you find out, okay, the word has but. So you had a flavor. The statement was going smooth, and suddenly one word but has actually changed the gear, and the conversation has gone to the different level. Rather, it shows that the author is uncomfortable with whatever has happened, or author is taking the other side of the discussion, or author is paradoxical in his tone now, or author wants to take the discussion to the next level through some analogies. This is what thematic things. It's just a very simple example. At the same point of time, when you get the analysis, you get to one comparison. Quickly after that, you get the second comparison. Third, you may anticipate another set of comparison, or you may find out a broad conclusion or a pinpoint conclusion as well. Right? It could be any conclusion. It could be X's conclusion or Y's conclusion. But you should be mature reader enough to understand, yes, conclusion should follow. I remember somebody was talking about the analytical thing. So when you get the analysis tone, go for certain words such as rather, moreover, however, in contrast, inter alia, among others, since. These adverbs are very strong, and these adverbs just change the tone of whole conversation suddenly. So you should be mature enough to sense and smell these adverbs. I hope I make sense. Right? Okay. Now, I quickly wanted to go and if we can do exercise 5, passage 5, if we can. It's not a big passage, it's very short passage. Can we do side by side together? Instead of you giving it, should I give you time to solve it or we just do it right now? Okay, take 2 minutes to read it quickly. Just read it. Should we go ahead and discuss this? Passage 5. Guys, I think we should start discussing this. Passage 5. It's a very short passage. Should I read and we'll discuss the questions?
Yes.
Okay. Never mind the usual puffery about what this month's Winter Olympics are all about. Sure. There is the beauty of sports, the spirit of friendly competition, the dedication of great athletes, and all that. Blank. What the Winter Games are not is truly international sporting competition that brings the best of the world together to compete. As a promotional battle, would have you believe? Do you realize or have you noticed the way first two sentences start and we get a blank here, and just after the blank we got a question which is not as smooth as the first two sentences. Are you with me, guys? I don't know if you understand. The first two sentences are very positive, very smooth, but suddenly we got something. So we have to develop it. We have to find out what is the connection. So 19th, it says, first option says, all of it is what makes Winter Olympics what they are. And this enduring legacy of Greek sporting festival is close to the highs of human conditions. Positive sentence. Then it says, but the Winter Games are about a few other things as well. Underline the word few other things and circle the word but. Elitism, exclusion, and the trumpet of the world's sporting haves or its have-nots. Third, but the sports is not the main theme that is driving the popularity of the Winter Olympics, unlike the Summer Olympics. It's starting a different discussion altogether. If you notice, it's starting a comparison between Winter and Summer Olympics. Winter Olympics are also about the beauty of a season that most consider to be depressing, an excuse to stay indoors. Another point of discussion is starting here. Also, the large amount of commercial activities associated with the events increasing its significance. Prerit Jen, can I request you to unmute and put the camera on? I need to discuss question number 19 with you. If you can, please.
Yes, sir.
Hi. I can't see you somehow. Prerit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hi, buddy. Can you help me with the question number 19?
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
Sir, actually, you mentioned that option number 3 and 4 are actually not related to what we are talking about earlier. So I
What
don't
do you
think.
think? I remember that I said this, but what do you think? What is your view about it?
So I don't think we should consider them. I don't think this.
You're aligned with me. You also think the same way, that they are not that they're starting in altogether different discussion.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Then what should we consider now?
But as you said, there should be some contrast to continue to the next para, which is what the Winter
There
Olympics.
could be. I said the statement immediately after blank is actually starting the different contrast thing. So we have to find out the statement which set the pitch for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And where is that pitch set?
Sir, I think it should be second option.
Why do you think so?
Sir, because it transitions into the.
Thank you so much, Prerit. I just wanted you to use this word. Yes, it shows that transition. As I mentioned, the first two statements are fairly positive for that matter. And you see the sudden transition of what? Elitism,
Yes, sir.
exclusion, right? These are the words. And immediately after this, we got the sentence saying, what the Winter Olympics are not truly international sporting competition that brings the best of the world together to compete. So listen, you got some negative traits as well, right? But not negative. If you don't want to use the harsh word, you can say some drawback traits are also there. Thank you so much, Prerit. The answer is 2. Anybody who got doubt, please feel free to discuss. Otherwise, I'll jump on to the question number 20. So we all are aligned, right? That's good. That's good. Now, question number 20. What the Winter Games are not is a truly international sporting competition that brings the best of the world together to compete. As the promotional blather would have you believe. Unlike the widely attended Summer Olympics, the winter version is most exclusively the preserve of a narrow, generally wealthy, predominantly Caucasian collection of athletes. Guys, just mind these terms here. And nations. In fact, circle this word. You remember I gave you some words which basically change the tone here, right? In fact, I would suggest that the name of the Winter Olympics, which starts on Friday, be changed. They could be more accurately branded the European and Northern American Expensive Sports Festival Courts. Blank. Until as recently as underline the word until, guys. Pay attention to these words. Until as recently as 1994, fewer than a third of the planet's countries took part. This year in Turin, Italy, the International Olympic Committee expects delegation from about 85 countries. Now I'm going to read option 20th, question number 20th, all options. Throughout most of the Winter Olympics history, the parade of the participating nation has been a short 1. Then it says, Europe itself has been a region that has not shown much enthusiasm towards sports. Is this statement, guys, please put on the cameras if you can, please. I'm not able to sense it because these are the questions where we need a lot of interaction. Are you with me on the second one?
Yes,
Europe
sir.
itself has been a region that has not shown much enthusiasm. But notice the previous statement has said there should be more. They could be more accurately branded the European and the North American Expensive Sports Festival, and immediately after this it says Europe has shown no interest in these games. So it's drastically different, right? No, second goes out. Branding is what sports is increasingly turning out to be, the business behind the games. I think they're not talking about business here, but rather participation, right? Okay. The response has been encouraging, and increasingly more and more countries have been participating until fourth one, when you read the fourth one and put after the full stop, just use the word until, and if like no, as if I'm having some difficult food altogether, right? It's not going until, because if this is the tone that more and more countries are participating, then why the adverb is used until, right? So until means what? Something has happened, and then after this, there's some change, some improvement. The money spent could have gone into. I'm sorry, this is not relevant. Answer is first one. What the first one says, it says throughout most of Winter Olympics history, the period of participating nations has been a short one until abhi tak short tha. Now what has happened? 1994, fewer than a, sorry, am I reading the right one? Yeah. Until is 1994, this happened. And what is happening now? The committee is expecting 84 people delegation, right? 84 nations. That is what? Highest ever participation. So of course we got to justify something which is like a shorter, and then until is a broader one. So now it shows a broader participation. So we need a statement which talks about some constraints, right? Any questions on question number 20th? I'm happy to discuss. Brilliant. 21st. I have read this the text I'm reading again. Even that exaggerates the extent of participation. Full period, sorry, blank. Ethiopia, a nation of 73 millions, will send its first team to Winter Olympics this year, a single skier. 21st. But the spirit of games is infectious, and even the few who participate do it with full enthusiasm. They're talking about the full enthusiasm, and it says what? Even that exaggerates the extent of participation. Participation and enthusiasm. Okay, I'm just leaving it open-ended. You got to just think about it. I'm just reading you got to draw the analogy, guys. I'm just saying this exaggeration and participation. Decide. Second one, many of the nations in the opening ceremonies will be represented by tokens, some consisting entirely of sports bureaucrats, not athletes. Single skier, and something has happened. It is further expanding. It says Ethiopia, a nation of 73 millions, will send its first team to a Winter Olympic this year. Now, after we got to expand on this, even the developed world is now embracing the games with open arms. I'm sorry, it's taking it nowhere. The usual doping allegation hallmarks, I'm sorry, it's again just starting a whole new gambit of discussion. The participations are mostly allies of the wealthy nations. Again, it's not there. What should be the answer? Even that exaggerates the extent of participation, और इतना exaggeration है कि कई बार जो delegates आते हैं उसमें सिर्फ bureaucrats ही होते हैं, athletes होते ही नहीं है. Have you noticed this? It says what? It says even that exaggerates the extent of participation. Many of the nations in the opening ceremony will be represented by tokens, some consisting entirely of sports bureaucrats, not athletes. This is the exaggeration. This is the exaggeration, right? Now, 22nd, in the history of Winter Olympics, dating from its inception in 1924, competitors from only 6 countries, Soviet Union, Russia, Germany, Norway, the United States, Austria, and Finland, in that order, have won almost 2/3 of the medal awarded. 22nd, guys, what should be the answer? But in spite of the gesture from the African continent, their chances of dominance are few and far in between. I'm not sure how the discussion has suddenly started from Ethiopia and then African continent. So it's not about Ethiopia. It's about that exaggeration from with respect to the participation. So that one nation sends us one athlete, and there are many nations which send the delegates without athletes, right? So it's not about Africa or Europe. It's about the Ethiopia for the reference one. It says. Then it says, this is ironic for a country where skiing is a luxury that few have access to. It's not about one country. It's not about one country, guys. It's about they've given a set of countries here. It would have been much better off had it spent that money on Summer Olympics. Which money? It says that money, which money? Ask yourself. There is a massive support for the African continent riding on the back of the latest political happening. A completely irrelevant, I'll term this option. As always, the biggest delegation and the big winners will come from a familiar pool. What pool? Can somebody answer me? Which
6
pool?
countries.
These?
The 6 countries,
Thank you
Soviet
so much,
Union.
Ritika. Yes, these 6 countries, these pools. So they have always taken a chunk of medals or awards all the time since inception. Answer is 5th one.
5.
So the pool basically is further elaborated here in the subsequent statement. Guys, how are you feeling? I know most of you got the right guesses, and I know somewhere few people struggled. Few got no heads and tails.
Sir, can you please tell the 21st one once again?
Absolutely, absolutely, my pleasure. So 21 says, of course, the Olympic committees. I'm sorry, can you, who asked this question? If I can please know the name.
Me, Koshani.
Hey, Koshani. Hi. So, Koshani, in the previous statements, it says that Olympic Committee is expecting what? 85 countries, which is the highest one. And the subsequent statement says that, but still barely 40% of the world's total population. So, it's still the 85 countries are still what? 45%, 43% of the world contribution.
Yeah.
That exaggerates the extent of participation. So, all these facts are what? The exaggeration. Having said so, the many of the nations, the exaggeration has gone to the next level. Though you are saying that 85 people came to participate, fact number 1, which actually deflate this claim, is that it's the 43% of the world's population. Fact number 2, which deflates this claim, is that what? It is that participation is of course there. People came as a bureaucrats, as a token participation, but in some cases there no athlete came. So imagine in the delegation of Winter Olympics, nations send the delegation, but like a bureaucrats and all, but no athlete to play. Bureaucrats are not going to play the game, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yes,
for a token participation. So Kaushani, we got the facts to deflate the claim that 85 people have participated, which is highest. However, which is in terms of percentage, which is a less number, and most of these are like token participation, because the subsequent paragraph talks about it. The winners come from these fixed 6 countries. This pool.
Yeah.
Kaushani, I hope I'm able to answer a question.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Good.
Perfect. Feel free, guys, if you got, I'm sorry, unfortunately, there are only 5 people left now. We extended the class. In case you got any doubts, any clarification is required, feel free, park it. Next time when we meet in the class, I'll be able to take this. Otherwise, put this, raise your questions or your observations in your group. It will be communicated to me, and I'll be able to entertain or answer your queries. Any question for this class now? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Make sure you're reading more and more. You are connecting the dots. You are doing some conscious exercises, right? And make sure you are able to understand and capture the flow of your passage and your reading. This will actually gives you a lot of confidence and a lot of faith. You'll be developing your comfort zone to entertain and handle any sort of passages. With this note, thank you so much. Have a good time. Sleep well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.